Bobby Eaton making his way along with Derek Flair. Beautiful Bobby. He gets quite a mixed reception. Bobby Eaton's calling Ricky Morton out. Morton pursuing Derek Flair and Bobby Eaton. And the crowd solidly behind Morton as I anticipated. And I'll tell you what, Charlie, we know what happened last night in Newton. Morton wants to not only, let's see what he's got to say.
This announcement, this big, huge announcement, like he's better than Bobby Eaton. This is Bobby Eaton. You're looking at the legend, Bobby Eaton. Now do it like it's supposed to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome a legend of professional wrestling. One half of the legendary Midnight Express. Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Hey, Ben, hold up for a minute. Rock and Roll Express against the Midnight Express. But you know, all through those times, it was like it always was. It always had somebody outside the ring. Jimmy Cornette and now Derek Flair. Well, the night's going to be different. If you're going to have your stepper manager, I'm going to have my stepper manager. No, but yo, my manager, what do y'all think? What about being here? Huh? I want Ben to come out here and be my manager, right? Huh? He is now.
This is interesting. Ben Throckmorton's going to manage Ricky Morton.
And he don't have the first clue. That's the amazing part.
Well, I hope he'll catch on.
Well, I do too, but sometimes I begin to wonder. I'd say, you know, as we used to say on television about the music man that used to play all of the music at Jay Eagles' Chesney Coliseum. You remember that, Dan?
Oh, yes, he's still there.
And when I said he was marking out, what did you say he was?
He damn sure was most of the time.
You said the damn idiot?
Well, I don't think, I'm not going to sit here and say that Ben Throckmorton, I think from what I've met of the man for the past 2 days, a class act. I think that he's been degraded. Derek Flair has belittled him. He's talking down to him. Nobody wants to get degraded like this. And, I do think that if Derek Flair gets overly involved here, maybe Throckmorton will land him a pretty good knuckle sandwich.
Well, that's one thing that he knows how to do better than promote. He loves to fight. He knows how to fight. And that's one thing for sure. I saw him just beat the devil out of 3 eggs the other morning for breakfast.
I got a feeling after he sees this tape, he's not going to like you very much, Charlie.
Well, one thing for sure about Mr. Throckmorton, he, pays good money, and him and the assassin went to college together. Did I tell you that story?
They built a college?
They went to college together.
No, huh?
Yeah, I'll have to tell you that story sometime.
Okay.
That's a very interesting one. But notice Bobby Eaton inside that ring now, working on Ricky Morton. The referee's all over him about something. And Ben Throckmorton going down now, checking on Ricky Morton.
All right, Morton now, he wants a piece of beautiful Bobby Eaton, and Bobby's going to duck between those ropes for a arrestment.
He hit him right in the snoot there, Dan, for what he done. He hit Ricky Morton right on the end of the nose. And I guarantee you that's going to get that dandruff up of Ricky Morton.
I want to say something briefly real quick before I forget about it. For the people who may be tuning in to see this, and a lot will, I hope, that way back in the mid-'80s, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, right here in Shelby in the Recreation Center, they defeated Crusher Khrushchev and Ivan Koloff for their first NWA World Tag Team title. So this facility, this fine building, holds a lot of fond memories for Ricky Morton.
Yes, that's exactly right. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson won the tag team titles right here, the NWA World Tag Team Championships titles from the Koloffs, I believe it was.
Eaton now trying to duck through those ropes, counseling with Derek Flair.
That's exactly right. And one thing for sure, Ben Throckmorton is definitely keeping an evil eye on Derek Flair. I'd like to see old Ben just up in Derek Flair.
Let's see what's going to transpire here, as we've still got some things taking place. We've got a collar elbow tie-up. It's very distracting with Derek Flair at ringside, and for me, I can imagine, but how must Ricky Morton feel?
Well, that's a good question. That's really a good question there. Look at this now. Eaton pulling his own hair, saying it was Morton making a furious comeback. A series of big rights and lefts. And look at this, a flying head scissors, and Eaton heads for the outside of that ring. Bobby Eaton was with the legendary Midnight Express under the tutorship and manage of beautiful Bobby Eaton of Jim Cornette.
That is correct. And boy, look, they're going all over the Shelby Recreation Center. And we're getting some great tight camera work. I hear a fan screaming like Norman Smiley.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Throckmorton gets out there, they really will scream, because he throws taters like you wouldn't believe.
You ain't talking about the kind you eat either.
That's right. I'm talking about Idaho Spuds.
All right, Morton and Throckmorton counseling, while Eaton and also counseling on the other side of the arena.
Look at this now. The referee has lost something here. I don't know exactly what's going on. He gets out and gets between them.
He wants this action to return to the ring.
Yeah. Telling both men to get back inside.
You know, Charlie, I was just informed I was incorrect. Norman Smiley is over at a gimmick table, and that was him screaming.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And I thought it was someone mocking him like he was some sort of monkey or something.
Well, you never know. You never know what happens during these exciting matches at North American Championship Wrestling, Dan.
NACW, the one of the best, finest promotions here in the Carolinas. They cover all of the Carolinas, and I'll tell you what, I've been impressed by the promotional work and the product and everything else. And right here, this goes to show you the North American Championship Wrestling is planning on delivering some hard-hitting action no matter where they go.
That's exactly right. And bigger and better talent coming all of the time, Dan Paris. And we've got some real surprises coming up during the month of March and April. We're going to have coming with us very soon the legendary Mr. Excitement himself, Larry Zbyszko, that'll be coming with us on television and also be wrestling in this area for North American Championship Wrestling.
And like we talked about last night on the tape, they're negotiating with several other television stations as well.
That's exactly right. We have big plans, and right now we're seen on 6 major markets throughout the Carolinas and Tennessee, and soon be seen in the Charlotte, North Carolina market, which is a real good market for professional wrestling. It was the home of Jim Crockett Promotions for many years.
Well, I understand WHKY TV 14 is going to expand into that market.
Exactly. That's exactly right, Dan.
All right. Morton had the arm bar, and Eaton breaks it up with a haymaker. Now they're going to trade punches, and Ricky Morton with a headlock comes off, tackle.
Look at this. Morton now stalking his man, and Derek Flair is a little bit bewildered. Ben Throckmorton heads for the other side.
And Derek Flair going to counsel Bobby Eaton. One thing that Ben Throckmorton don't want to do, I don't think he wants to get involved in a fist fight with Bobby Eaton.
That's exactly right. And notice this, Ricky Morton calling the referee over, talking to the referee about something.
Hesitant to re-enter the ring. He's content to jaw jack with the crowd. And Derek Flair is seeming to try to calm Bobby Eaton down a little bit. Seems like they're getting on his case pretty bad here, Charlie.
Well, one thing for sure, this Derek Flair, you never know what to expect out of him. At the time you least expect it, he may throw some fire. You just never know what he's going to do in that ring.
That is correct. He's a very unpredictable individual. Eaton with a series of punches peppering Ricky Morton in the side of the head as they continue to brawl ringside. They're headed over to the far end of the Shelby Recreation Center. Morton hits a table.
You know, one thing that I'm impressed with this crowd here tonight in Shelby, North Carolina, we've given them 7 matches, and some of them has been rather lengthy matches. But the thing is, I believe we still have the same amount of people as we did when we started. So that means they've enjoyed this program.
No doubt about it, and they're wanting to come back for more and more. Morton after Derek Flair. He just hip-tossed Bobby Eaton on the floor. Derek is trying to get out of sight.
Yeah, he needs a pair of roller skates for a little guy. You know, I don't believe I'd be throwing quite as much bull around as what Derek Flair throws around.
You know, I think Ricky Morton made a gamble to get Throckmorton out here to offset Flair, but you know, he had to do something.
That's exactly right. Dan, I'm going to leave you here now because I just see a lady come to ringside over there with both hands in her pockets, and I need to get over there close to where Flair's at.
Okay, she may be armed and ready for a few haymakers. And I see the lady as well. Charlie's looking on concerned.
10 minutes.
Got
10
a choke.
minutes is gone in the match. 10 minutes.
On to Ricky Morton. Flair on the apron. Throckmorton interjecting, trying to get the officials' attention here. Complete chaos. And Bobby Eaton with a knee drop right into the side of Ricky Morton. And Morton now feeling the effects of the attack. Bobby Eaton continues to deliver. He's choking him across that middle rope. Now he's having words with Ben Throckmorton at ringside. Flair on the other side is choking away and gouging at Morton. Eaton continues the attack. Now he's going to drag him across that top rope and try to burn him right in the face. It's obvious that's somewhat altered his vision. He's blinded him temporarily. Punches it right in the side of the face. And he's grabbed him by the tights. He's rolling him over. 2 count only. Right now, things is not definitely going the way of Ricky Morton. He just punched him right again. Morton still in a lot of trouble. We got a couple of unruly fans here at ringside, and that's what's concerned the commissioner, Charlie Babb, and I really don't blame him. You don't want to see nobody coming in there like this lady is irate, swapping nobody with a purse in the side of the head, or even maybe a knife being welded out by an overzealous angry man in the crowd or anything like that. At this point in time, we got beautiful Bobby. Now he's got the chin lock applied onto Morton. He's got his foot across that bottom rope, and he's adding the leverage. Morton's going to have to try to get up and fight his way out of this some sort of way. His feet across the middle ropes this time, Bobby Eaton. Once again, and that is quite illegal. This young official, he hasn't quite caught these infractions yet. Ben Throckmorton starting to get the crowd pumped up. Get behind Ricky Morton. Derek Flair on the other side, keeping a close eye on things. Eaton has his foot on the middle rope. This time the official catches it. Bobby Eaton and the referee having an exchange verbally. Morton finally back to his feet. A boot to the midsection. Punches him right in the top of the head. Has a loose gripped headlock. Derek Flair from the outside with a trip, and Bobby Eaton with an elbow smash. Throckmorton telling the official, snitching. And Flair on the apron, he's on the apron. Throckmorton trips Eaton. And Ricky Morton gets the Duke with an assist from Ben Throckmorton.